Welcome to our comprehensive technical analysis of Apple Inc., AAPL as traded on the Nasdaq. Today we'll break down the latest data as of December 18, 2025 with a focus on the last 3 months of trading. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just curious about market trends, this deep dive will help you understand the forces shaping Apple's stock price. We'll explore key technical indicators, recent price movements, and what they might signal for the future. Let's set the stage by looking at Apple's current price and the overall market context before we dig into the numbers. As of December 18, 2025, Apple's stock is trading at $271.84. This price reflects the culmination of various market forces over the past quarter. It's important to note that this value sits below several short-term moving averages, hinting at recent downward pressure. We'll soon see how this fits into the broader technical picture. For now, keep this price in mind as we analyze how Apple's performance stacks up against its historical trends and technical benchmarks. Let's start with short-term moving averages, which help us gauge immediate market sentiment. The 5-day simple moving average SMA stands at 275.37, while the 10-day SMA is at 277.02. Both are above the current price, suggesting a short-term bearish trend. Similarly, the 5-day and 10-day exponential moving averages (EMAs) are also higher than the current price. This alignment typically signals that sellers have recently dominated and the stock may be under short-term pressure. Moving on to the medium-term perspective, we see the 20-day SMA at 276.96 and the 30-day SMA at 274.87. Both remain above the current price, reinforcing the notion of ongoing weakness. The EMAs for these periods echo this pattern. When both short and medium-term averages are above the current price, it often means the stock is in a corrective phase or consolidating after a previous rally. This context is crucial for traders looking for potential entry or exit points. Examining the long-term moving averages, the 50-day SMA is at 268.84 and the 200-day SMA is at 229.54. The current price sits above these longer-term averages, which is generally a bullish sign for the broader trend. This suggests that, despite recent pullbacks, Apple's stock remains in a longer-term uptrend. Investors often use these levels to identify major support zones and to confirm the overall health of a stock's trend. Bollinger Bands provide insight into volatility and potential price extremes. Currently, the upper band is at 286.54, the middle at 276.96, and the lower at 267.38. Apple's price is near the lower band, indicating it's approaching a potential oversold condition. The band width is relatively narrow, suggesting reduced volatility. Traders often watch for price action near the bands to anticipate reversals or breakouts. The Moving Average Convergence Divergence (MACD) is a key momentum indicator. Apple's MACD is at 1.7 with a signal line at 3.13 and a histogram of -1.43. The negative histogram and momentum values suggest weakening upward momentum. This aligns with the recent price dip below short-term averages. When momentum indicators turn negative, it often signals caution for bullish traders. The Relative Strength Index (RSI) helps identify overbought or oversold conditions. Apple's 14-day RSI is at 45.11 below the neutral 50 mark, indicating mild bearishness but not yet oversold. The 21-day and 28-day RSIs are slightly higher, suggesting some stabilization. RSI momentum is negative, reinforcing the short-term caution. RSI values between 30 and 70 are considered normal, so Apple is currently in a neutral to weak zone. The stochastic oscillator is another momentum tool. Apple's 14-day stock K is at 8.66, and stock D is at 21.78, both in oversold territory. The 5-day and 21-day values are higher but still below typical bullish thresholds. This suggests that Apple could be nearing a short-term bottom, but confirmation from other indicators is needed before acting on this signal. Volume analysis reveals the strength behind price moves. Apple's on-balance volume (OBV) stands at over 1.78 billion, reflecting significant trading activity. The volume ratio and growth rate are both above 1, indicating healthy participation. However, volume acceleration is modest, suggesting that while there's interest, it's not surging. Volume trends can confirm or contradict price action, so it's important to monitor these metrics. Volatility indicators show how much Apple's price is fluctuating. The 30-day volatility is at 0.956, and the average true range ATR is 4.89. Both values suggest moderate price swings. True volatility and volatility breakout metrics are also subdued. Lower volatility can mean less risk but also fewer opportunities for quick gains. Traders should adjust their strategies accordingly. Key price levels can act as psychological barriers. Apple's nearest support is at $270.27, while resistance is at $274.79. The pivot point sits at $273.21. These levels are crucial for traders planning entries and exits. If the price breaks below support, further downside could follow. Conversely, a move above resistance may trigger renewed buying interest. Apple's trend strength score is 0.286, and the trend quality index is 38.71. These relatively low values suggest that the current trend is weak and possibly losing momentum. The ADX average directional index at 24.55 further confirms a lack of strong trend direction. When trend strength is low, price action can become choppy, making it harder to predict short-term moves. Momentum indicators like Momentum 10, -12.31, and Rate of Change ROC 14, -2.06 are negative, signaling that the stock has lost upward drive in the short term. The price acceleration metric is also negative at. These readings suggest that sellers have recently been in control, and buyers may need to wait for a reversal signal before stepping in. Apple's 52-week high is $288.62, and its low is $169.21. The current price is near 86% of its 52-week range, indicating it's trading closer to its highs. This positioning suggests underlying strength over the past year, even if recent action has been weak. Investors often use this metric to gauge whether a stock is extended or has room to run. Linear regression helps forecast future prices based on historical trends. Apple's regression slope is positive at 0.547, with a predicted price of $282.61. However, the actual price is about $10 below this prediction, a deviation of -3.81%. This gap suggests the stock is currently underperforming its trend line, which could be a temporary dip or the start of a new trend. The risk-reward ratio for Apple is 2.65, indicating that potential rewards outweigh risks for new positions. The technical score stands at 40.55 and the momentum score is a robust 71.4. These metrics suggest that while the short-term trend is weak, there's still a favorable setup for those with a longer-term outlook. Managing risk is crucial, especially in uncertain markets. The volume-weighted average price, VWAP, is at 184.33, much lower than the current price. This large gap with a VWAP difference percentage of 47.48% indicates that most trading volume has occurred at lower prices. This can sometimes act as a support zone if the price retraces, as many buyers may look to defend their positions. To sum up the technical indicators, Apple is currently experiencing short-term weakness, with most momentum and trend signals pointing downward. However, the long-term trend remains positive and the stock is still trading near the upper end of its 52-week range. Volume is steady, and risk-reward metrics are favorable for patient investors. This mixed picture means traders should be cautious but alert for signs of a reversal. Let's briefly clarify some of the core technical concepts used in this analysis. Moving averages smooth out price data to reveal trends. The MACD highlights momentum shifts. RSI and stochastic oscillator identify overbought or oversold conditions. Bollinger Bands show volatility, while support and resistance levels help pinpoint potential turning points. Understanding these tools is essential for interpreting any technical analysis report. In conclusion, Apple's technical landscape is a blend of short-term caution and long-term optimism. While recent indicators suggest weakness, the overall trend remains intact. Investors should watch for confirmation of a reversal before making aggressive moves. As always, combining technical analysis with broader market context and fundamental research will yield the best results. Stay tuned for further updates as the market evolves.